Happy 2013!
So today we have with us a special guest star.
Wait. Before we start the guest stars, what is this video? This is Ask a Gay Family...
I forget.
Huh?
I forget.
16.
No way!
Yeah, number 16. What a better way to start off 2013 than with an episode of Ask a Gay Family. Okay, now back to the guest star.
Starring Nicholas. Yay!
Nico!
So some of you may remember our video back with Nicholas where we had to, hand him back to his mom, and that was really tough for all of us.
That sucked.
But we still get to see Nico on Thursdays and have fun and play, so he's hanging out with us today.
So Nico, we actually have become pretty good friends with his mom. And Nico got to spend Christmas with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Mr. Shy.
Yeah.
But we've been very honored to be able to keep him in our lives, and we're super excited that he's here with us.
Yeah.
So we actually have two questions this week. One's aimed at the kids, and one's more of an adult question aimed at me and Daddy Brian. So we're gonna let the kids go ahead and tackle question number one, and go ahead and take it away.
Family, my name is Leah. I'm from France, and I've been watching your videos since this summer. And I think that what you guys are doing is really, really great. And that you're showing how gay parents can be great parents and great role model to their kids. And my question is, how do Danielle and Selena explain to newcomers, new people they meet, that they have two fathers? Is it something that they easily tell to new people they met, or is it something that they wait for the person to be friends with them, to know them a bit before they actually say it?
Yeah, well, if people ask me, I'm not afraid to tell them. They're like, wow, they're gay? So
Whoa, what does that mean?
they don't know you guys are gay once they see.
So when they see us dropping you guys off, it's not
No,
odd
like-
then they see two different guys?
They
No,
think you're the
and then,
uncle.
and then,
Oh, I have an
yeah.
uncle? Yeah.
And then I say, they're gay, and they're like, wow.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I'm not afraid to tell them.
Those are gay guys?
So,
So, I mean, I guess the question, Daniel, is well, we're talking to Leah, but the question is, do you ever have any problems? Because you guys never tell us that you've had any problems or bad
No.
experiences. I mean,
no one ever worries about anything.
No? So you just tell if people notice that you have different parents bringing you, then they may ask?
Yeah, they ask, hey, why don't I ever see your mom? I'm like, I have two dads, and they're gay.
And that's it, huh? No
Yeah.
one ever expands on it?
No, they're just surprised, and
Okay.
well, that's my answer.
Yeah. So?
I kind of tell them how I got two dads because
Yeah.
I got adopted.
So do people ask?
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of people, because Xenia keeps mixing up saying, when we have a play date, can you talk to your mom?
Oh, and then you said, well, I can talk to my dad.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I told her the whole story that I didn't have a mom.
Yeah. So
Well,
when
I do, but I don't live with her.
when they first find out that you have two dads, are they interested in that? Are they worried about it? I mean, does it
No, they're
scare them?
interested.
They're interested?
Yeah.
And then that's when you tell them you were adopted?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. So you educate them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang, you're taller than Daniel. No, I gotta sit up. A little inch over.
We'll be sure.
Okay, so I mean, it's really not a problem for you guys, huh?
No.
I think that's partially because we live in a really. First of all, it's their generation. I mean, the younger generations rock when it comes to gay stuff. You guys really got your stuff together, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I think it has to do where we live. We live in a very liberal, progressive community. So I think you guys have, huh? Yeah. So I don't think our kids have a lot of problems with that.
No.
Anything you want to say about it?
No, I think this was entirely their story to tell, and I thought they did a great job.
Nico, do you have any problems when people find out that you have two dads? You do? What kind of problems do you have? Him? He's a problem? Yeah, I know. See? Brian's the problem.
Hey guys, Steven here. I was just wondering, I've had sexual partners before, and I was just wondering what age do you guys think it's appropriate to be having sex at? So yeah, thanks for your opinion. Bye.
Wow, Steven.
Okay, I guess we should say that, if it was our kids, as dads,
When they're married?
yeah, I keep telling Selena she can't even date until she's 57, so, sex is a whole other thing entirely.
And I've given her a billion conditions. He has to have red hair. He has to be from, I'm making up all these really silly reasons why she has to have this first person she can have sex
Completely impossible to meet
with.
conditions,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or she can have a boyfriend anyways.
Yeah, and as much as you tell your kids that you want them to wait until that it's somebody that they really love and the conditions are right and they're able to take on all the consequences that could come with sex, the fact of the matter is we grew up in an age where kids just did it anyway, and we're not stupid. We know that, our kids might experiment with things and do things. I don't know if there is a super appropriate age, to be honest. I think it's more important that you understand the consequences that could come with sex, not only to your health, but emotionally, and that you have really good information going into it so that you can make the best decision possible. And that being said, I really hope it's with somebody that you love and not something you're doing just because, you're driven to figure out what the experience is like.
So, being a parent is really makes things more complicated, because I actually lost my virginity when I was around 12 years old in junior high school. And that's the age Daniel is now. Now, when I think about Daniel having sex, it really freaks me out, because, I know that he's not emotionally and physically mature enough to be doing that. Having sex and actually whether you should or shouldn't be having sex are two different things. Daniel loses his wallet. He can't remember half the things that he's supposed to do during the day, and he's going to be having sex. So when I look back at my 12-year-old self now, I think, wow, I was really stupid to be doing that at that age. In high school, I got a girl pregnant. So I don't know if anybody, if you watched our older videos, you know that. And that was my junior year of high school, and I was almost a father. And I was so not ready to be a father at that age. And I was a pretty mature 17-year-old. So, for being a very mature 17-year-old, I still was not ready to be a parent. There are so many consequences that come once you start to be sexually active. There's HIV, AIDS. I know that the largest group of people getting HIV, AIDS now are kids from the ages of 16 to 21. That's really scary, guys. And so we get this question a lot from you guys about what we think is an appropriate age to have sex. I think you have to be emotionally mature and ready for it, and you need to have sex for the right reasons. You can't have sex because you feel lonely. You can't have sex because you're trying to make a connection with somebody, in order to have somebody that, like a boyfriend. You really need to talk to yourself and know, when's the right time for you to be having sex.
And I think that number is going to be different for everybody. Yeah, I didn't have my first sexual experience with a man until I was, into my 20s. Yeah. And that experience was largely driven by all the psychic stuff that had been built up around it, because I just had to know what that experience was like. And when you're in that kind of a place, you don't always make the smartest decisions, and I didn't either. So
how old were you when you had sex for the first time?
I was about 20-something.
With a girl?
Yes.
With a girl?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're a late bloomer.
I was.
So be like him, not like me. It's difficult because we get this question a lot from you guys, and we get a lot of young people reaching out to us asking this question, and we can't, as responsible parents, I can't tell you to have sex. Look at Steven, you're 15 years old, and you've had sex with how many people already? And you have to ask yourself, were those good choices? When you look back at those experiences, were those things that you feel like you grew from, or were they experiences that you regret? Because I think that's important. You need to understand why you're having sex and what you're getting from it.
Yeah, I think as a compassionate dad, because Daddy J lays down the law, I can say that, people do things and stuff happens. You never should feel bad about those experiences unless you really hurt somebody or did something, because they do help you to grow and to learn something about yourself and about what you want and don't want out of life. And sex, like anything else, we put so much onto it, emotionally, morally, everything else. It doesn't make you a good or a bad person. But you do have to be responsible with, your life, your body, your emotions.
So don't do it, but if you do it, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
And be safe.
Because, these experiences you're having now are leading you to the person you're supposed to be with. And when you find that person, you want to make sure that you're a healthy, happy package.
Also, I'd like to open this question up to the YouTube audience, because people have very wildly different opinions about when it's appropriate to have sex and why you do it. So you've heard our points of view.
What's your experiences? People read our comments. If you're an older, wiser person now, or you're a young person, comment down below. When was it you had sex? What age? Do you feel like it hurt or helped you grow, mature? I'd like to hear. Okay. Until next time, YouTube.
Bye. YouTube.